City are still alive here. Balotelli, Aguero! Special beyond special.
Best player in the Premier League.
Captain Marvel. Drogba! Rooney! Oh, wonderful! That is one Derby diamond.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's match day.
What's going on, guys? Clash of Clubs, episode 9. I am finally back from Europe, and I am alongside Mila and Grant, of course. As always, I think we should just jump into it. It's been way too long, but City, as always, is firing, and so I think it's a good discussion to go with what City need to do to continue success after the Rodri injury, and how can they continue to keep form with the likes of Liverpool and Arsenal kind of right there with them.
Okay. I think I wanted to look at some of these. I didn't know we were going right into me, so I'm off guard. Hold on. Grant, say something.
Say something? All right. Yeah, I mean, even without Rodri getting hurt, I just still, I don't see it happening any other way other than just, City finding a way to get it done. I mean, Pep notoriously, will just make, drastic changes tactically mid-season like he did when they won the treble. It's, okay, Stones has to play in midfield. That has to happen. And it worked. So, I think it'll take a little bit of time for him to sort that out. Again, there's a narrative that City always have a kind of a big, bloated squad. That's never really the case. They tend to usually have a much smaller squad than most, but they're all just quality. So you don't have as many parts to work with. Kovacic has done a job there. Stones, obviously, we've seen him do it. Rico Lewis plays everywhere. So I'm interested to see how he works it out, but I just don't see it going any other way just based on what we've seen. You know what I mean? Just the past few years alone, it's just they'll find a way. So that's kind of how I see it. But again, I entertain the other teams going for it. I do think it's way more open than it's been.
It's definitely going to be more open. What I wanted to look up was the fixture list, and I was struggling to find it. But now that I'm looking at it, our next couple games are Wolves, Sparta Prague, Southampton, and then at the end of October we have Tottenham. And then the following 3 games after that are Bournemouth, Sporting, and Brighton. So by that time we get back players like Ake, probably Bob will be close to coming back to training or back in training. So I do think we'll get a little boost in that regard. In terms of the Rodri thing, I think you covered it pretty well. We're going to have to adapt. It's not going to be one player, though. I think Kovacic just talked about it in an interview. It's going to have to be a whole team working to do what he does, because he's one of our most valuable players, if not the most valuable for what he does. You can't find someone to replace that. Even if we do look at someone in January, it's going to be they can do what Rodri can do, but not to the same level, of course. It'll be 80% of what Rodri can do.
Yeah, I had a really good thought going through my head right when you were wrapping up. I guess, no, I mean, I feel like we've talked about City enough, and again, there's not too much more to really say because we kind of need to see it, right? We need to see how they're going to react, and whatever the solution ends up being, it's not going to be what they do next week. You know what I mean? So we're going to see lots of different things. I think that was a good point, too. It's going to be a collective to kind of sort the situation out. But I think it is important to definitely talk about the other 2 teams that are in that conversation. I had Liverpool higher than both of you guys, and so far so good. But I think Liverpool and Arsenal, it's super early, but those are the teams to worry about. Those are the teams, to me, that are competing for the title. But I think both teams just look different. And it might not be drastic, but I think Arsenal, when they first kind of came on the scene 2 years ago, when they really pushed you that first time, that team was exciting. They were fun to watch. And it's definitely a different brand to what they were doing back then, but they're getting their results. And, they're missing their captain. Havertz, absolutely despise him, but he's been good to start the year. I never got it last year. People were trying to tell me I was a new guy. That was the same player to me last year, but right now he's putting away his chances that he's getting for the most part. It's tough to say, but credit where credit's due. He's doing his job right now. Will he do it for a full season? Not as sure, but he's doing what he needs to do right now, and I think they've also adapted very well to a missing injury. I was just wondering what you guys kind of thought about them, because I don't like giving them credit, but I mean, so far so good. I mean, can't ask for much more given the circumstances over there.
So yeah, I guess my thoughts on on Arsenal where, and I'll relate it back to before I left, was there was a stretch of games where we were like, this is it. Like, it's over because of just the lack of players that they had and the tough stretch of games that was coming up. We thought they were going to drop some points, and we ultimately thought that City were going to move way up on them, and they handled their business in a couple of games. I thought that the 10-man result was important for them, just like psychologically. Like, that's a win in their minds, whether it is or not, really. And obviously it's not they didn't pick up 3 points. I think it's more of a psychological thing for them that will keep them pushing. Now, the injury crisis that they can be going through with all the international stuff, and then with Champions League football at the level that they're trying to play, I think is going to be hindering. And I'm a little more skeptical on them in comparison than I am to like Liverpool, and I'll touch on that when we go over them. But if they really do have an injury to Saka, if this is something bigger, I just don't think that they have enough guys to compete at that top level. They're going to end up dropping points to a crappier team down the road if their 2 best players, their 2 most talented players, are not on the field. And that's just, there's a certain like limbo area that most teams are going to go through. I can't remember the phrasing I'm trying to say, but there's a certain line that you can't go past in terms of injuries where your team's still going to be good. And they're kind of flirting with that right now. Like I said, Havertz is picking up pace and he's been good for them in moments, but I'm not counting on that for the full season. So I think I'm
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm just not
Credit where credit's due. He's been good to start the year.
Yeah, so I'm skeptical is what I'm going to say. It's like I thought that I'd get more answers from this stretch of games, and I think I've gotten some, but not all of them.
That's a good way of putting it. Also, real quick, Dylan, was the word you were thinking threshold?
There was a different phrase. It's like I don't know, Mendoza line, I think is the word I'm looking for.
That's baseball.
Isn't it like the point where it's another word for threshold, right? Like
sorted.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't answer that many questions. I mean, they did, but they didn't. I see what you mean.
I think.
Mila, what were you saying?
I think that if you look at the fixtures that both teams have coming up, after this next set of games, Arsenal are playing Liverpool. That'll be an interesting one, I think. That'll be a good one to see. Arsenal's gaps with injuries. Apparently, Odegaard's had a little setback, so they're still going to have to work with him being out. And then also for Liverpool, can they break through something like that Arsenal defense, or are they going to get locked out? And then if you look at Arsenal's next game, it's Newcastle, and then after that Chelsea. So it's not like they have easy games coming up. So
we're not an easy game anymore.
Yeah, to what Dylan was saying, I do think that their prove it time is kind of coming up right now. They did have a couple good performances and some pull away wins, but these are a stretch of tough games, not just a one-off tough game in the sea of easy ones. Yeah, so if they can survive that, it's good. They also have Inter in between some the Newcastle Chelsea game. Like they're not going to be rested.
Inter can play. No.
So I think they're going to be busy. They're going to be tired, and hopefully no one gets hurt. But it's a possibility that more people do get hurt. We've seen it with other teams, especially bigger teams.
Saka is out right now.
Personnel.
Their next front forward have to be Martinelli and Sterling on the wings with Havertz and Trossard. Like that's.
I think he's got a hamstring injury, so it'll be interesting to see how he deals with that.
Yeah, and then Liverpool. I mean, I guess. Did you have anything else on Arsenal, Bill?
I did want to sneak in something about City because I haven't been on in a while, and so I've been watching the games as like a silent observer. I don't like any formation that includes 2 of the 3 right now, and it's Foden, Grealish, and Silva all playing in forward positions. I really don't like it, and it really bothers me because Doku and
sorry,
did I cut out?
No. It was Grealish, Foden, and Silva.
Yeah, like when they're playing as like a front, not like a front 3, but when there's 2 of those guys as like wide players, like I just don't like it. I think that Doku and Savinho have been so good and so important to the creativity while KDB's been out that it just bothers me that they're playing so narrow when they don't need to. Like, I don't know. It's the one thing that I've had like this weird like you're putting too much focus on Haaland in every position, and like he's been amazing. Don't get me wrong, and like he can do that, but I think it's asking a lot of him every single game. It's not getting the best.
It's a hard medium spot where you don't want to overload Haaland with all that, but at the same time, if you look at our goal distribution this season, he's the only one putting the ball in the back of the net.
Right.
So if you only have one option, you kind of have to go to it.
Yeah, Grealish has been good. Grealish, to be fair,
he's been good, but like
I think he's been pretty good this year.
For him, like
he's been good.
Like
with
what we need is like a 15
two.
G&A winger.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's him.
15 goal winger would be helpful. Mainly is what I mean.
That's him. Yeah.
No, it's not. I don't think it's Doku either.
No.
Doesn't really feel like Savio's game either. So the whole point of this, it seems like, would be for Haaland and Foden to get goals, and right now Foden's still working his way back in.
Yeah,
so
I think I was just highlighting more of the Kevin De Bruyne importance.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
It's the missing piece. But I like how realistically, even if he does come back, like or when he comes back, like how many games is he really gonna play on a consistent
basis? I think it'll be fine
like,
if we manage him well, but he tends to overdo it, so it's hard to keep him fit.
Well, no more Belgian football, right? Like that's done.
Yeah, I think so.
For the time being. So that's helpful.
Until the World Cup, I think. It's just not right now.
Oh, he's just not doing Nations League?
I think he said that he was fed up.
Right, yeah, because they stink. I forgot about that. This is when your captain's Romelu Lukaku, but I digress. I guess, I don't know if there's much to say on Liverpool. I mean, at least from you guys. I know you guys don't love talking about them either. But I just think, all in all, Slot came in, and it is something different. You know, it's similar, but a lot less it's different than what Klopp did. It's more structured. It's let's be a little bit more conservative here. And I mean, making it a double pivot, you're just getting more out of your players there. Like Szoboszlai last year wasn't great as an 8. I think having that creative freedom as a 10 to just kind of go link up play, he's been much better than he was last year. Gravenberch looks like Dutch Pogba right now. I mean, they're nuts, and McAllister just fills the gaps. So they've been good there. Salah always has output. Diaz is putting away chances. Jota putting away chances. Like everything's kind of clicking for him right now. Van Dijk and Konate are looking solid. Allison's out. That's the only real thing I can think of. But I think there's questions more in the future for them, obviously with all the expiring contracts. But I mean, right now they look sound. I mean, you guys got anything on them?
No, I agree with you. I'm gonna say the exact same thing I said about Arsenal. Next couple, like 6 games, are going to be prove-it games for them. They're hard, not just in the Premier League. It's the European. Chelsea. They also have Leipzig after that, and then like we were talking about, they have Arsenal, Liverpool, and then Brighton back-to-back games, EFL Prem, Leverkusen, Villa. These are not easy games for them. So they're going to have to do that with Man City on their heels in a title race. So I do think it's going to be difficult for both these teams. Arteta's working with what he has, and then Slot being a new manager in the Premier League. He hasn't really been in this title race before. So he might have started off strong, but I need to see if he can do it for a whole season, like most of these guys.
Yeah, I think I'm along the same sentiment. I'm not sold yet, is what I will say. And I think that there's an overhype to him. Look, he's come out like 4 or 5 times now and said, well, I've beat teams on the road, and that makes me really good. Let's go through the teams that he's beaten on the road, shall we? United, who are fucking awful. Awful. Like, we suck. He then went and beat Wolves, who have 1 point on the season, and he beat Palace, who have 3. So let's shut the fuck up about it. It really irritates me. I haven't seen it yet. That team has competed for Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues before he got there, and he's given this squad. I don't want to hear that you're taking care of business against these what we're going to say, big clubs right now. Like, no. Like Mila was saying, that the next stretch of games you've got Chelsea, Leipzig, Arsenal, Brighton again, Leverkusen,
Brighton,
Aston Villa, then they play Southampton, then they play Madrid, Newcastle, and Everton.
That is egregious.
In the middle
is
of that, which we
crazy.
didn't talk about at all, is there's this random international break again in November. For no reason.
Allison's, I think he's out until the international break. So Kelleher is going to put up a worldie this weekend, as he does. He despises my club. But, yeah, it's good points. I just think they've taken care of business. But like you said,
yeah, no, you can only handle
we should be expecting that.
the games in front of you.
It might be too far. But
you can only handle the teams in front of you.
A competent manager.
Absolutely. He's got them ticking. I don't want to hear that they've done it yet until I've actually seen them beat some teams in a run of games that aren't terrible.
Okay, I like it. And then I know. I mean, we're about to get tested by a massive team in fourth place currently, boys.
Yes,
I cannot believe.
You're just gonna have to expose their defense. Right now, they look like probably the best defense in the league. So
yeah,
that doesn't matter though.
I mean, Jackson. When we played them opening day last year, Jackson's first game, I remember like he didn't score naturally, but he gave them hell back there. Like he's a tough player to deal with. He'll get physical. He's quick. Like he will run at them. And I mean, I've thought about. I think Sancho started really well with us, but Mudryk with that high line at Anfield, like that's tempting to me. I think his form's picked up. He scored an international break. I'm not mad at all if they start it with him or just even, again, impact sub off the bench. But I think that left-hand side, I guess kind of going into Chelsea a bit, that's my big concern. I think the right-hand side all of last year, honestly, Palmer, Madueke, with typically Gusto, but James when he's fit, like that side creates chances. Now, Palmer, even as a 10, drifts to that side, gets in the half spaces. The right-hand side's nice. Sancho started off really well. I think Vega, in the minutes he's gotten, he's been complimentary on that left-hand side. So I think that's a big key, and especially it's a huge talking point always, Trent's defense. Test him. Let's see it. Because if he passes the test, he passes the test, but you got to test him. And I think that game is going to be wide open. Just because of the way we play. I think there's still a learning curve. People are trying to throw us in the title race. I just think that's kind of absurd. This team should have finished 10th last year. They finessed 6th place. They were not worthy of 6th place last year. So you get a coach to come in and completely change things up. It's going to take time. We saw against Brighton, we conceded 2 goals because Sanchez gave it away. And the coach said, that's how we play. So it's going to take time to be getting used to. But I'm cautiously optimistic about the team. I just think in terms of people throwing us in the title race, that's absurd. That's absurd. And 7 games now in the league? There's going to be a learning curve. There's going to be bumps. Like, we drew at home to Forest. Probably want to win that game. But we lost it last year. So I think 4th, like where I had him to start, like that should be the goal. But title race is crazy. The only argument I'd entertain is Palmer being the best in the league. That's it. That's a conversation worth entertaining. That team's not winning the league this year. So I think we should just put that to bed right away.
I've seen crazier things happen.
Sure,
if Haaland gets hurt, this Premier League's wide open. Because I don't think Arsenal or Liverpool are running away with anything.
I just think this team's too inconsistent, but like you said, if it's that wide open,
anything can happen. Villa could squeeze in there too.
Yeah, Villa have been really good.
This was a really interesting matchup from a couple of different perspectives to me. One, Chelsea with the injury, right? You got Vega going in against Salah.
Vega, this is a big game for him. It's his first Premier League start because Cucurella Fofana are suspended.
Right, so like this is just
probably gonna be Tosin and Vega.
This is just an interesting premise there. Like I don't know what that's gonna look like and if there's enough coverage there to stop Salah. I mean, he's been very good, and
for sure,
that's just this is more of a star versus star matchup to me, and Palmer versus Salah.
My fault.
Yeah, I actually liked your point about Sancho. I don't think this is the right matchup for him. Just because, like you were saying, the speed thing. I'd rather see Chelsea go with like Neto or Mudryk coming off of a strong international break. I think it's a time to see what Maresca's made of more than it is what's like how it looks for Slot. I think Slot's got like kind of a formula down, and this game is
got a settled team.
You know what I mean? Like Chelsea, after dropping points, is now having to go on the road to Anfield away. That's just an interesting after international break to see how they get up. And I think it's
everyone's
also
position.
it's just a difference in the mentalities of both teams too. Like, I don't think most Chelsea fans and the Chelsea players themselves necessarily believe that this is the year to win the Premier League. And for Liverpool, I think they can see that as an opportunity, with it being the last year for a lot of these guys. So in games like this, I tend to go with the team with more experience for that reasoning. But I think that Chelsea can find ways to make their vets kind of look stupid, and I think Palmer's the way to do it. So if anyone's going to expose that back line with how strong they've been to start the season, I think it's Palmer and Madueke.
Yeah, I think it comes from those wide guys. That's where a lot of our chance creation's coming from. And kind of going back to your point, we were talking about the City wingers, where it was like you kind of need output from some of them. You're starting to see already that dynamic form. Madueke was the one who scored against Forest. That was his first goal involvement since the hat trick. And the coach says, "Oh, I told him, like, you haven't scored since." So he wants Madueke to get goals. Because Sancho, you've seen him play, like, not a guy that's going to get you goals. But he's been very good at linking play, creating on that left-hand side. So you can't have two of those. You need output from somebody. So I think Madueke, he's been getting a lot of flack too for being selfish, which I've gotten on him for too. But I'd rather have that than someone who's scared to shoot, right? He's confident, he takes on his man, and he beats his man a lot. So the more he shoots, the better he'll get at it. I'll get frustrated, but I think his mentality's great. He's playing for England now. He looks lively there. Like, you're seeing the team finally start to grow in real time, because that was this whole project, right? All these young players, are they going to be good? I mean, Madueke was 35 million from PSV. So, like, to see him already come along, and he's already playing for England now. Palmer, obviously, I mean, not much needs to be said there, but I think it is going to be interesting to see kind of how we can get at their back line. Because, I mean, they've looked really good. I think your guy's favorite player on our team, Enzo, that's another one where if anything, he's been a big talking point. His performances haven't been up to the standard. And I think the standard for me is when he first came in. He came into a really disastrous Chelsea team and far and away looked like the best player for pretty much that whole year. Last year was difficult. I don't think the system suited him. But again, 100 million, you shouldn't have to need the system suit you, right? You should be good enough. I think this year is another adjustment for him in terms of he needs to play as a 6 without the ball, and he needs to play as a 10 with the ball. And things we've seen in Enzo's game, I don't think legs was one of them in the 2 years, 1 year and a half we've watched him play. But I think in terms of his ability, like, in theory, he can do it, but can he actually do it in principle in the league at Anfield? So I think we could see him grow into that, or we cannot see him grow into that. You know what I mean? I think Lavia's fit again. I think he looked really good in every game he's played, which hasn't been many. So I think every spot being up for grabs, just making these guys play better. So I'm cautiously optimistic, and I don't think we're going to get peppered, which I have the past 2 years. So
yeah, Mila,
Happy days.
I like
you
that
got any
take.
thoughts?
No, I think that was well said.
yeah, I mean, we'll see.
agree.
We'll see.
All right, so
There's
then
not much to say with us.
So we'll start with you. What do you think the result of the match will be if you had to predict a scoreline?
3-3.
3-3.
Fucking shit show. Yep. I was gonna say 2-2, but no, we want 3-3.
At
Mudryk hat
Anfield?
trick. Yeah, Mudryk, all three.
No.
No, I think it's a draw.
No.
I think it's a draw.
How many goals did they give? They've conceded like 2 goals.
2.
Yeah. I've said dumber things on camera.
Okay.
3-3. I'm sticking to it. And that's
Who's
a quick
even in-
PSA
who's
too.
even in
I'm
their
not
midfield?
going back on
You
what
said
I'm saying again.
McAllister's out?
Yeah, it says
McAllister?
early November.
No,
So I didn't know
really?
that he was out.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. But real quick, I did just want to add, I'm done. I got to stand on my word now. I got shit from you guys when I put Palmer at the top of that list. And maybe it was still egregious. Sure. But man, it's looking good right now. Maybe because Kevin's not playing. But people are talking about it. So I got to stand on my shit.
Hey man, anybody that can
Locked in.
score 4 goals in a game is a good player.
Decent. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's decent. It's ridiculous, dude.
I was more
We got
upset
our look
about
back.
you comparing him to De Bruyne, but I mean
I
it's
wasn't
just a
comparing
time
him, bro.
thing.
I was put.
That is exactly what you're doing when you put him in a list comparing midfielders and you
what
put
I
him
said-
over De Bruyne. I'm not getting back into this.
All I said was this version of Palmer is better than this version of De Bruyne. not saying
No.
De Bruyne's not the best midfielder the league's ever seen. I never said that. I'm just saying the current iteration of the two players. We'll get there at the end of the year, Mila.
Yeah.
Mila, what do you think the outcome of this game is going to be?
Dude, at Anfield, my heart says 2-1 Chels,
Massive.
but my head says 2-0 Liverpool.
No goal. It's tough. So which one?
1-1.
Understandable.
I could see a
Yeah.
1-1 draw, honestly. I've
Yeah.
talked myself into it.
All right, there it is. 1-1.
I am in the same spot as Mila. I don't want to see them win because I never want to root for them to win. But man, fuck, that's so tough. At home, backup left back makes me think
Backup
so.
goalie. Honestly, you know what? You know
Yeah.
what? There's
No,
going to be a
Kelleher's so
bang.
good
There's going to
against
be
us.
one Chelsea certified bang.
Who's beat Mudryk off
I
the
think
bench?
3-1 Liverpool.
Son
Because
of a
I
bitch.
just don't like the Vega versus Salah matchup right now.
I'm telling you, and it's valid. It's valid, but I'm telling you that guy's a player, and I think Cucurella's been really good for most of second half of last year. Obviously, international break has been good to start the year. I think Vega's one of the guys that can absolutely push for a spot in the 11. His physicality, versatility. He's tucked in as a center back. He started at center back for Portugal today, but he'll tuck into the 3. He'll start in midfield. He'll invert into midfield. He'll play up as a 10 in the half space, and he's done all of it well. Obviously, it's a small sample size, but this is his moment. Let's prove it. Are you about it? Are you like that?
I don't.
Salah's a test.
Personally,
That's a
for
fucking
me,
test.
I'm just not a fan of throwing younger guys who are getting adjusted into the league against the best. And
Sure,
Salah
he looks
is
28
the
though, to be fair.
best. Right.
I'm telling you, bro. I
No,
like the
he is.
player a
No,
lot.
he is a player. But I'm just looking at the games that he's
You're
played
right.
in, and he's
He's
played.
21 years old, and this is
He has to prove
his
it.
first
Yeah.
start in the
And
Prem.
we'll see
He'll
it this
have to.
weekend.
Yeah.
There's no bigger stage. To be fair, they might throw Reece James. I hope they don't start him. I do not need to see that man hurt for another 4 months. But they could go Gusto and Reece, or they could go 3 center backs and then invert Gusto. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
they don't- it might not be
this
Vega,
is a
but I think Vega starts. I
really
totally
cool
think Vega
test for Maresca. Like to see what he does
Yeah.
in this situation because he's got to get the best
Yeah.
11 out there while also being
Yep.
structurally sound. So,
Yeah.
I think this
think
is just an interesting matchup. There's still, hopefully it's a good game or we don't get a fucking snoozer like
We're
it
the
feels
entertainers
like
of this
all.
league, mate. No, we do not put up honking games unlike other teams.
No, against this specific team in recent memory, you guys have.
We're
That's
box
why I'm
office.
concerned.
That's true. Yeah. No, they fucked us up at Anfield last year. What are you talking
No,
about?
but like before every game,
Yeah.
all of my memory is just 0-0 in
Two
cup
cup.
finals, and
Yeah.
then
That happened 6 straight times, 0-0.
yeah, fuck.
Probably
My
not, but
it won't
whatever.
come out of my mouth until.
Me neither, motherfucker. Jesus. The last thing I'll say on Maresca, though, like you said, it's a big test, but he seems to be a lot less rigid tactically than I thought he'd be. From what I heard from Leicester fans, just kind of looking into his system, this is exactly how we're going to play. This is the only setup we're going to run. He's consistently changing things, even at halftime, mid-game. Like, I love the way he's been proactive as a manager. I think if we could have probably won the Forest game if he made subs a little earlier, but like you said, this is a big test for a manager like him, and to have so much talent, to be able to mix and match ins and just straight swap out teams. Let's see if you can put the best one together. So, exciting. Do we want to touch on United too much still?
We could touch on it.
I want just 10 seconds of my Spurs prediction is
Yes.
still on track.
Yeah, you had him in 9th, right?
Yes.
Oh, you had him actually in 9th.
Yeah.
But that's hilarious. Hey, I'm glad you're right.
I mean,
but
I don't know. It's still a long season, but
For
I
sure,
haven't seen
but-
it yet.
yeah,
We don't need to talk about that much. We talked about Villa.
We only
a bit.
talk about big
I don't
clubs
think-
around here.
I don't think we need to talk about Villa much right now, other than I think they might be in a little bit of an injury crisis at center back. I know Konsa pulled up a muscle the other game, and then I think Carlos got hurt after subbing on also.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
So they have
Who they
3
got?
center backs 3 starting caliber center backs out. Mings,
When's Mings back?
Carlos, and Concept. Mings is out for like another 6-7 months, I think.
Oh man.
I think that they're gonna be one of those teams that kind of falls off the hinges.
Who?
Just because
Villa?
look, their last 3 games, and I think this just goes to show what Emery's deeming as important, is draw Ipswich, win against Bayern, which is an incredible result, and then draw against United. So it just feels like if they're going to put their all towards a game, and this includes the players and their mentality, it feels like they're going to put it towards the Champions League and less on the league. And they're just, like you were saying, they're kind of in an injury crisis. Like, they're kind of just falling apart.
They're going to have to play house. Or, I don't know.
Bogard? Is that his name?
Courtney.
No, Bogard. I'm talking about Bogard.
I'm talking about Courtney House.
Well, there's 2 center backs they can play. This Bogard guy's 20 years old, though.
I thought he was a fullback, honestly.
No.
Yeah, and you're not throwing a
they
20-year-old in it, in the Champions League. It's just not.
It'll probably be. I feel like they could deploy a 5-back and maybe have Digne as a wide back, center back.
That's the best traits are going forward, though. No.
Maybe Cash.
What? But then you have Maatsen. You're not losing anything going forward. If anything, you're gaining.
If Digne defend well there in that spot.
Yeah, I think. I mean, for the
he's experienced.
time that he needs to do it, I think he'll be able to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, he should be able to do a job. He's experienced.
Probably with Nedeljkovic, whatever the Serbian guy's last name is.
Yeah, that's right. I almost got it. Well done.
Yeah, I feel like he could also do a shift, but it's tough.
Right. United. I like Mila's idea, Dylan. Try in 10 seconds to just give us your thoughts.
I don't know if I can do it in 10. I'm neither here nor there on Ten Hag in or out. I don't care anymore, is what I will say. I liked both of your thoughts in the video that you guys did before. I leaned towards Mila's opinion more of like, well, if it's not him, then who the fuck is it? Right? And I will get this little rant off my chest. Anybody saying Thomas Tuchel should be the manager of United
Thomas Tuchel
is actively saying that they want ISIS to run their football club from a managerial position, and I cannot stand with that. Also, people hated Mourinho at United. They hated him. It's the same fucking thing. It's the same fucking thing.
People talk about him now. People are talking about Mourinho being the best one post Fergie, though.
No, but that's just not true. Like I don't.
So it's
know.
Revisionism history.
People are just so upset at where the club is right now that they just want to believe in something again.
Sure.
Which, like, at this point, who gives a fuck? Like, people are actively rooting against United to win, and they're United fans. Like, that's fucking weird.
Yeah, that's nuts. Yeah,
you don't do that. Like, I don't know. They need their best players to step up. Bruno's been awful, so either Ten Hag needs to drop him or he needs to play better. I also am getting really tired of Garnacho through this period because he's every game I hear something about him being the best player for United, and I just don't see it. Like, I think that Rashford has been miles better than him and is getting yanked way before him for zero reason. I think Rashford's been United's most consistent player through this period. And also, this game at Villa, if Ten Hag didn't call it rotation and he had just said, like, hey, we've been playing like shit and we're conceding 3 goals a game, I had to make a switch, I understand it.
Yeah.
Now, I don't love it from a progression standpoint. I think that he should have just stuck with them, but he got a result. And he can, like, going into that game, I don't think anyone picked United to be getting points there.
No.
So,
I mean, we all thought they'd get battered. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I guess the shoe on the other foot is if you do sack Ten Hag tomorrow and you put in Rude, isn't Rude in the same fucking dressing room as Ten Hag? Isn't he making this similar decisions? Isn't this like a part of the brain trust? So if United if they are to scrap it and they are to fire Ten Hag tomorrow, that means there's an interim manager in the club for 8 months, right? Like, what's the season then, right? Are we just openly admitting that, like, the season's done? You don't get an interim manager and, like, normally win anything. It's not like a normal Like, it's just not a sustainable thing to me. And I'd much rather them just be like, hey, look, see out at least till December, or see out the rest of the season, and we're going to find someone new, and we're actually going to go through a process of finding the next person. Because that's what good clubs do. They don't just,
Yeah.
I don't know, they don't just get rid of their manager and put in a Thomas Tuchel, which is the same thing as getting a Ten Hag, which is the same thing as getting a Mourinho, which is the same thing as getting an Ole. Like, you're just putting yourself in a bad spot.
Thomas Tuchel
To play devil's advocate,
hold on. Thomas Tuchel is a glorified piece of duct tape.
not as a fucking Champions League though. That's the devil's advocate. That's the type of manager. He's a good cup manager. Notoriously, that Bayern team that struggled last year were Madrid being Madrid away from the Champions League final, and they probably would have beat Dortmund because they don't lose to Dortmund.
Why was he at Bayern?
Why is he at Bayern? Because he's
why did he
German.
why did he Bayern?
To fill the hole until they could get someone else.
And he came in the middle of the year. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Also,
I wouldn't go that far. I agree. Man, I thought
it's more than a managerial thing. It's a top-down thing, but then them getting more depth from the manager sacking just doesn't make any sense.
They already played themselves in theory that you can't really sack it. Well, you can, but to invest the way they did for his players, it's like, okay, now you can't get rid of them. At least, like Dylan said, maybe December. But also, the only other thing I had on it was the Rude point. I think they brought him in as a contingency. And I know I'm sure you saw the clip. It's only a clip, but like them disagreeing and him just kind of going like, huh? So like, I guess I saw it, Basketball Reference, when the Clippers got rid of Doc Rivers and then they brought in Ty Lue, who was Doc Rivers' assistant head coach. It was a completely different team. So it could go either way, but that's not something we know for certain. So that one's just up in the air.
The thing I'll say about the Ten Hag signings is, if we're being realistic, right, and we're talking about them, like, which of those are his signings that are bad? Like, this whole window was Ineos. That wasn't Ten Hag, and they said that.
You know, okay.
Right, so we're talking Antony, right? And that leaves a very sour taste in a lot of people's mouths. But then it's Eriksen, who's still playing. Evans,
done a job.
Who is still playing.
Done a job.
Martinez.
Neither of them should still be playing.
No. I'm not saying that they should, but like,
yeah,
I think that's a glorified topic point because the money that was spent, but it's not like his, like, the players that he's picked, like the guys that have come in, he clearly doesn't. I don't know if he doesn't.
They made a point to say that he gets less control over the signings this summer, and this is what they produce, and now they're kind of putting the blame back on him, which I do think is very unfair to him.
Right, and I don't know. Outside
but at the end of the day, it's results.
No, it is.
He has to get results.
I don't know. I think there's a lot. I guess it kind of goes back to everything else. Like, we need to see a little bit more what's going on, because personally, the jury's out for me on some of the players, but it's been 7 games. So who's to say Ugarte doesn't turn it around? And again, I don't think he's very good. De Ligt, I don't think he's very good. I can be very wrong. Like, that doesn't matter what I think. Like, they can very well come on and have a good year. So I guess we just need to see more. But I don't know. I hope he stays in before we play them. I want him to be there.
Would be in a much better spot today if they could just score some goals. We wouldn't be having this conversation if they just put away a couple chances, right? Like, they could have scored. Garnacho fucks up a chance in this Villa game. They could have got all 3. In this stretch where they have 4 draws in 5 matches, in every single one of those matches, they could have won a game with just with a singular goal to put them over the top that they haven't gotten from any of the front 3. And so,
I don't want to scare you, but it sounds like Chelsea under Potter. A lot of 0-0, a lot of draws. Just we needed one chance. It feels similar to me. I'm not saying you guys are going to finish.
It's not that they need one chance. The chances are there. They're just not converting.
Yeah.
That's the bigger issue. Is like the guys that have come in, and Xerxes and Højlund, and I thought that Højlund would be the answer, and he hasn't been yet. I don't know if that's just him needing to kick on, but Garnacho, Ahmed, like, all these guys have been wasteful. I don't know. It's really the only thing that's making me want to get rid of Ten Hag is my love for Rashford and how, like, irresponsible he's been with his minutes and the reasoning behind it and stuff. Like, that stuff's really irritating because he's been their
Yeah,
best
he's
player,
horrible with the mic.
and he's pulling them to put in Garnacho, who apparently has an injury. Like, there's just not a lot of clarity right now, and there's a huge spotlight, and I think it's just making things worse. And so, I'm hoping that this stretch of games after this break, that a lot of the guys stayed back for, right? Like, England didn't have a United player for the first time since like the 70s or something.
76. I
So
saw
I'm
that.
hoping that this is the point in the season where maybe they can get something and they can figure it out. The only one last thought, and I'm actually done talking about United, is Ineos needs to make a statement whether or not they want to keep Ten Hag or not, because it creates more of an issue that they haven't said anything than them keeping this. Oh, we're just
they
gonna...
don't want the fingers to point it at them. So the more that they can stir up shit towards Ten Hag, it's perfect for them.
I think
it's very
Glazer.
political right now at your club.
It's just so Glazer.
That's
not
United at right now.
Like, I feel like any normal, like, big club would just make, just like a well-run organization would make a statement like, hey, like, we have never said that we were going to sack him, and we're not going to sack him. Like, that's...
Yeah.
We've stayed a commitment. He's got a contract, and then we'll let the season play on. Like, even other organizations, other sports do that. Like, the Lakers did that last year. I've seen every other shitty situation work like that. I even think that
we did it with Potter. We did it with Potter.
I'm saying.
Before firing him, we said he's our guy. He has a 5-year contract.
You create more of a storm in the media.
There's less noise by you saying that. Even if you went back on your word, because we sacked him.
Yeah.
It kept it, and again, obviously there was still so much going on in that situation, but it does create less.
Yeah. That's just good
like
PR.
Mila said, it's politics.
That's just smart. That's smart business. Like, that's not even a club like that. I don't really give a shit. But, like, that's just good, smart business from a media perspective, which whoever's in front of their media team is just not doing a very good job. All right, fuck it. I'm done talking about United. They suck.
Yeah. All right, quick break.
Let's lighten the mood.
Yeah, little game.
Yeah.
Is this a stretch break?
Well, we'll take a break here, and then when we come back, we'll do our Guess Who. Alrighty, let's get into our Guess Who game. We did this in a other episode that was corrupt, and it didn't work out, and so sorry.
Sorry, Nick.
Yeah, sorry, Nick.
Yeah. Who won? I forgot.
I don't know. It literally, there's no video footage evidence of it anywhere anymore. So
I won.
Well, I don't know. I literally have no idea what you're talking about.
For the record, we played this game. I was down and out. I came back and won with Axel Twanzebe. Get well soon, mate. Sorry about the dishwasher.
So I mean, this is just like your basic thing about like when you played it as a child. Everyone's gonna go around taking turns being their host player, who's gonna pick a player beforehand. The other two are going to ask questions that help reveal the player. And so it'll go in a circle, and whoever guesses that player will become the next person to be the host. So I have a player in mind. And let's start with Grant, because he's to the right of me on my screen.
Because he won the first time.
Literally don't know what you're talking about.
Is your player currently in the top half of the table?
No.
It might be United, Mila.
Fuck you.
Is your player under 25?
I believe so. Let me make sure.
It's been 2 years since I can make those jokes.
Mob is... Yes, he's under 25.
Okay. Does he play in London?
Yes, he does play in London.
Okay. I should be writing this stuff down.
Are they over 5'10"?
No.
You sick, are you? Oh, he's short. He plays
You tell a
for
lot from that, man.
He plays one of 3 teams. Yeah, good point. Is it in Buemo?
It is not in Buemo.
Yeah, it would have been way too
Under
easy.
25. Is it Embuemo 25?
Probably. Yeah.
Ooh. I see. Is your player from Europe?
Yes.
Okay.
Does your player play at Crystal Palace?
No.
Hmm. Wait, there's no way. Is it Somerville?
It is Somerville. I didn't even get to the club. We just fucking straight went for it a couple
Well, I mean, it
times.
was down to 2 at that point. It was down to 2. There weren't many guys left.
How
Yeah,
did
there
you
weren't
guys
many
even
guys
sort?
left.
How did you sort that?
I went through
So
all of
he's
Brentford.
under 25.
I was
and
going
he's
through
on
all
the
of Brentford
bottom
as
half.
he was thinking.
Oh, bottom half.
You went
Sorry,
to
I totally
Brentford?
forgot that was a question. I was like, how did you
Yeah,
guys
he
just
was
rule
West
out
Ham.
like half the teams in London within?
Yeah.
Makes a lot more sense.
It was,
Yeah.
it was down to Palace, Brentford, West Ham.
Cool.
As you said, Somerville, I just finished going through Brentford. I'm like, oh, he's on West Ham. Fuck. All right, so it's your turn, Mila. You got a point.
Okay.
Damn it,
Let's
I really
go.
want to use my player because he's awesome.
Time to pick one. I'm gonna pick one at random.
Yes, let's not.
All right. I'm thinking of a player.
Dylan, you go first.
Is this player in the current top 5 teams?
No.
Current bottom 5 teams.
No.
Middle of the
That helps.
pack, baby. Does your player play for a team that's emblem is red?
No.
Is your player in London?
No.
Oh, that helps.
Okay. Would you consider your player to be good?
Yes.
That is a crazy question.
That is a crazy question.
Well, it helps
I don't
because
know
now
if
I
that
don't have
helps.
to think about shitters anymore.
Is your player a forward?
No. Wait. Hold on. No.
So like winger or striker? Okay, cool.
Okay. Is your player a defender?
Yes.
Typical. No. Is it Milos Kirkesh?
What? No.
Imagine
Okay.
if I hit that though.
That would be so crazy.
Okay. Let's see how.
Oh, they have red, don't they?
Does the team that this guy play for wear the color blue?
Yes.
Okay. I think that narrows us down to 3 teams here, Grant. 4 teams, sorry.
Does your player play for Brighton?
Yes.
Okay. Is your player Kadu whatever?
Kadioglu? No, it's
Okay.
not.
It's because it's Hinchelwood.
It is Hinchelwood.
Oh no! Once I got to Brighton, I was like, when he hesitated on his position, it's Hinchelwood. It's the guy just they pluck him everywhere, bro. Nice. All right, so we got 1 point. We're doing first to 3, right?
Yes, unless it goes by super fast, and then we can extend
Which
it.
at this
Which
pace,
it might be. So let's run into first to 5.
Well, play it by ear. Okay. I'm ready when you are.
Go. Dylan.
Okay. Does your player play for a team that you like?
I don't know if I can answer that question.
Do you not?
Like,
let me ask the inverse. Does this player play for a team that you hate / dislike?
No.
Okay. Liverpool, Arsenal, Brighton.
I don't hate Liverpool.
Is this player on a team in the top 6 of
No.
the table? Okay.
Okay. So get rid of them anyways. Okay. Does your player play for a bottom 5 team?
No.
Middle of the pack bullshit.
Is your player from Europe?
No.
Is your player a forward?
No.
There's two people that I can think of. Okay.
No way you have it down to
Is
two
it
people.
Olaina?
Is it actually Olaina?
Fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You got
The
a snipe. Who was the other guy?
Fuck.
Who
Who
else were
is
you gonna
that?
say?
The other guy would have been
whoa.
Willy Bully.
That is exactly what the other guy was. It was literally because it was gonna be Ola Aina, and I was looking at him like I can still do Willy Bolly. Wow, well done. You tried to do what I was doing the whole time, just sniped it. Ola Aina is the most underrated fullback in the league, by the way, Dylan. I might not have you know. No, he's at Forest. He plays left back and right back. But
I'm
yeah, no, he's
totally a
class-mate.
liar. I know who that is. Sorry, just that I didn't know that's how it was pronounced.
Yeah, he's Chelsea
He's on
as
my
well,
fantasy
so.
team. I should have. Yeah,
because
okay.
I dropped him.
Well, he's mine now, and I suck anyways. So,
Dude, I think my team's worse. All right, so Mila's at 2. That's great.
all right. So yeah, we're
I'm
going to
thinking
5.
of a player.
Are you? All right, Dylan.
Does your player play in the midfield?
Yes.
Does your player play on a top half team currently?
Top half.
1 through 10.
No, I don't believe he does.
Oh, you gotta check though, Dylan. Note that. Write that down.
I'm checking other stuff. I'm waiting for
So he
Dylan to
doesn't.
ask. Sorry.
Great. So
He
not in
doesn't.
the top half. Nope, not in the
Okay.
top half. Yeah.
Does your player is your player white?
No.
Well, that takes out Will.
I'm gonna. He's a winger. I feel like
he's
the
a winger?
midfield answer was a little
Okay, it was
unfair
deceiving.
for me to say
Okay.
yes and not clarify that.
All right. He's on a bottom half team. Is the primary color on their badge blue?
Primary color?
I just okay. Leicester, Everton, Ipswich, Palace is what I'm thinking.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay. Is your player does your player have more than 2 goal involvements this year?
Not more than 2.
Not more than 2.
Oh, so it's in die. Illyman.
No.
Damn it. Thought that was it. And it doesn't have more than 2.
Plays for a team where their primary color is blue?
Yep, and in the bottom half.
Is your player on either Palace or Everton?
No.
Okay.
I think I know what team he's on. Problem is, I don't know what player. Is it Amori Hutchinson?
Mm-mm.
Shit. So we narrowed it down, Dylan, Ipswich and Leicester.
Yes. Is this Mavidi?
Mm-hmm.
It is? Nice.
Mavididi.
I'm on the board.
It's Mavididi. Yeah.
I can't pronounce it.
Steffi.
We've been over
It's
this. I
okay.
can't pronounce names.
Okay, that's why we're here to correct it.
So you got one.
I got my one.
Mila,
Oh, okay,
Are we going to 3? Are we still going to 3?
We can go to 5. I think at this
Let's
rate.
get to 5. Okay. I really, really, really enjoy having a player instead of actually
Right? It's so
guessing.
fun.
Actually, 5 is a lot. Though. That's gonna be so many players. Let's go to 4.
Okay. 4
Weird,
works.
but
Good
first to
medium.
4. Let's do it.
I
All right. First, is he in the top half of the table?
No, he is not.
Why? I so thought you were going there.
Ooh. Is your player from South America?
No, he is not.
Does your player play on a team with the primary? No, I'm not going to use that last question again. Yeah, let me not use the same 3 questions. Does your player play for Man United?
No, he does not.
That would have been too bait. Yeah.
Hmm. Does your player play for West Ham?
No, he does not.
Damn it.
Does your player a forward?
No, he is not.
Scratch it out, man. It's great.
Hmm.
All up here, Dylan. It's all up here.
Is your player in a relegation team?
No.
Okay.
Not a forward. Is your player a goalkeeper?
No, he's not.
Jesus
check you.
question.
Bro, I'm not trying to ask the same questions, bro.
I know, but you could ask something else than goalkeeper. You ruled out like 7 players.
Backups.
Okay, that's fair.
He's from South America.
Does your player? He's not
Not
from South America.
Now,
Does your player have hair
No, he does not.
on his?
He is. Boop.
hey, now we're getting somewhere, Mila. Great question.
Thank you. See,
All right. Now that changes things a lot. Yeah, there's no one bald on Everton.
oh
Too bad
god,
John Joe Shelby's not in the league. I thought that was
Oh, fuck.
yeah, I don't even know.
I guess he does have hair. Sorry.
Oh no.
well, that just
If
changes things
that's
completely.
another hint, if anything. Like,
Why'd you? Okay, so little artificial enhancement. Well, it's not Emblemo because Emblemo's bald by choice. Is it Suchek?
it is
No, you
not.
said West Ham, bro. Damn it.
Hmm,
We already said he's not at West Ham, huh?
we did say he's not at West Ham.
Sweet. Nice. All right.
However,
Dude's a fucking asshole for messing up that last question.
Who, me?
No.
You?
Yeah, the hair question. The player
Yeah.
that I'm speaking of is an asshole.
is it De Silva?
It is not De Silva.
That would have been the most random pick. Like, surely it's someone that you know, right?
Joshua De Silva?
It's
No,
not
like,
someone who is on my
That
radar.
comes
If
up
I'm
in
being honest with you.
conversation. Oh my god. Did you do IU?
It is not IU.
Okay,
Gross.
good.
That's
I would
unfortunate.
have rather not gotten the points and had you pick IU. Because
Dude,
I was
don't
like
even
thinking
know
kind
at
of
this
bold. I'm like,
point.
oh, IU.
Not IU.
Oh, wait a minute. I've got another name in my head.
So confused. I'm thinking though.
Dude, I've got a wicked guess, and I think I might have it, so that probably means it's nowhere close.
Okay, there's only one more place to check.
Okay, so bottom half, not in relegation.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else
And
is
not
in play.
and not
I've got
West
the
Ham
name.
or United.
I think I've got it. I
Yes.
think I've got who it is.
All right, it's my turn though. So
I know.
Hold that. Hold it. That.
If you just pull this one out, I will be fuming. To be fair, I probably have it wrong. So. Yeah.
Damn. This is a toughie. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, you could skip your turn and let me have my guess if you wanted
Hell
to.
no. Hell
Yeah.
no.
You try to narrow it down with another question.
All right, bro, I'm out.
That's what I'm trying to do. Oh, he's not a forward, correct? That was a
Not a
question
forward,
that was
not a
already
goalie.
asked. Okay,
Not a
not
forward,
okay.
not a
Well,
goalie.
damn. Did
Good
they
thing
play
I
in the
said-
midfield?
What? Sorry, is he in the midfield now?
Yeah. No. Oh,
So
a
it's Ashley
defender.
Young.
It is Ashley Young.
Okay, damn. I looked at him.
Fucker, come on. That's
Ashley
huge.
Young is a bald person in my head, and he grew hair again for no reason. He's like a chia pet.
2-2-1.
Fuck him.
It came to me. Hey.
It's a chia
Hey.
pet.
All right.
Also, respect
All right,
Ashley Young. 39 years old, still playing. That's impressive.
And he's a fullback.
And he's a fullback. The most crazy evolution. Also, Grant just got 2 notifications while I was looking things up. Paul George hyperextended his knee. Interesting. And Aaron Rodgers threw another Hail Mary.
I thought you were going to say Brees Hall touchdown.
Nope. Okay.
Losing by 2.
Grant, go.
I gotta pick a player, innit? I need to pick a player. I got him.
All right. Is your player top X6? Like, has he ever played for like the original top 6 clubs before?
Yes.
And
Is your player English?
No.
okay, just to preface that question, he no longer plays for a top 6 club.
No, you said has he played?
Well,
for one
that should
at a point in his career?
that'll lead into it. Like, so this is the next
it's a
question.
separate question.
Is he in the top? Is he still playing for a top 6 club?
Yes.
Okay.
And he's not English. So
Not English.
my next question: is he African?
He's not African.
Does this player start week in, week out?
Not typically.
Okay.
No.
Does this player play in midfield?
He does.
Wow, I have a name in my head and I don't want to say it yet. Does your from a London team?
Yes.
I think I know who it is, but I don't want to say it because I don't know why you'd pick him.
I'm an enigma.
Is it Lavia?
It is not.
Is your player Jorginho?
Oh.
Okay, see, that's why I didn't want to ask it. It made sense.
Don't start. Not from England.
Ex top
From
6
a
player
London
who still
team.
plays in the top 6.
No, oh yeah.
Well, no, he's just been at one team in the top 6. He hasn't moved around
okay.
it. Yeah, no. You confused me. So you got top 6 in London midfield. Doesn't start.
Is this player younger than 21?
He's not younger than 21.
Bollocks. Doesn't normally midfielder, not under 21.
No way.
Is this player Thomas Partey?
No. Minus 1
Is it-
point.
Is it Cassidy?
It is.
What in the... Jeez, you guys are going super fucking, like...
Bro, he
I would
starts
never
in the
go that
Conference League,
far.
bro.
That's...
Exactly what
That's
Dylan's
so...
never heard
That's,
of
that's
him.
why,
If
yeah.
Dylan's never played Football Manager with Chelsea, then he's never heard of Cassidy.
Why are we... What are we doing here?
He's a decent little player, you know what I mean?
I'm throwing out a guy who's played in the league for fucking 50 years, and you threw out a guy I've never heard of.
Hey, you remember the Euros, the U21s that the England won?
No.
With, like, Palmer.
No. I do not remember watching my country's under 21s.
Cassidy was a player of the tournament for Italy or player of the tournament for the whole tournament in the U21 Euros.
Did you watch the U21 Euros?
I'm thinking of a player.
I got goal updates. And I got tweet updates when he had good games.
All right, because of that pick, you get to go first this time.
You got a player, Mila? Is he in the
Yeah.
top 10 right now, standings wise?
Does your player play a defensive role for his team?
Yes.
Is your player in the relegation battle, bottom three?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay.
Defensive role, bottom three.
Is your player white?
No.
It's literally my favorite Guess Who one.
Check Decore.
No.
Oh, man. I don't know these teams that well. Is your player Andre?
No.
Stupid one name.
Chalaba.
No. You guys
No.
totally gave up on the hints. Just going full steam ahead on the guesses.
Yeah.
Is your player a wingback?
No.
Okay.
Ugachukwu.
No.
Yeah, it'd be too obvious, huh?
Is you? Oh, he's not white. Get rid of Southampton. All white. Is your player caught a vibe? Baby, are you coming for the ride? LaCroix? LaCroix?
No. It's not.
Damn it.
You missed one Southampton player that it's not white. Is it Armel Bella-Kacha?
No.
Really good in career mode, Dylan, if you didn't know.
I didn't know. Is this Gomez?
No.
Fuck.
Oh my god. I have one more shout before I'm going to go back to asking questions. Is it Bazunu?
No.
I had to check. Okay, now it's not
Is it
Southampton.
Jefferson Lerma?
No.
Hey, why would you pick Lerma? Does your player play for Wolves?
No.
All right, there we go.
So we're down. I only know Gahey left, so I'm gonna go with Gahey.
No.
Okay, yeah, Grant, you can win this round. I'm very much stumped.
You guys should both know him.
Why are you saying it? Yeah, I mean, it's not Gahey. You said it's not a wingback, so it can't be Mitchell or Munoz. Nathaniel Klein's a wingback, so he plays for Southampton. Does he play for Southampton?
No.
Dude,
Okay,
what?
great. I just went through all of Palace.
I'm
might
pretty
know,
sure we've hit
almost.
every Palace player except for this one player, of course.
Well, I mean, Klein, I guess, but like he's a
Well,
he's
it's
a
Dylan's
wingback.
turn, so
Yeah, well, Klein's a wingback.
Dude, what?
Yeah, I'm literally just looking at their team.
I'm very stumped because we went through every not white player that they have.
no.
I thought.
Yeah, you're missing.
Is it no? Because he's not. He doesn't play defensive, does he? It's not Kamada.
I know who it is now, bro.
My guess is Kamada. I literally don't know.
No.
Chris Richard.
Yes.
Oh my god. Oh, I didn't scroll. I didn't scroll far enough back on their roster.
All right, so what am I? Am I at 2 or 3?
We're tied at 3.
Oh, I'm at 3? Okay.
Bologna sandwiches.
Oh, I am. Yeah, that's my third player. 3-3-1.
Alright, I need a crazy comeback. I don't think it's possible, actually.
I've seen it done before.
I don't think it's possible with the number of people that are playing.
That's true. It's kind of tapped.
I can fuck it up.
Let me find my guy.
Best believe.
Cheers, Jeff. I've got my player.
Okay. Does your player play in the top half of the table?
Yes.
Does your player play? For Fulham.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is tough because now I just feel like I got to start firing off.
That's so crazy, bro. Why? Why?
I'm on fire today. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, bro, that's
Is
two.
your player a
That's two.
Whoopi?
No.
Balls.
Oh, bro, Mila's gonna win, fam. Oh no, Dylan. I'll text you the answer.
Is it Calvin Bassey?
No way, dog. I feel like I missed something in the month that you guys were with each other alone.
Oh,
It's on one today. It's hot.
Oh, what do you mean?
Why
That's
is it that I
crazy,
picked
though,
the wrong
yeah.
Nigerian? Fuck.
Bro,
I was gonna say close, but that would have been a dead giveaway. You probably gave him the idea.
Why couldn't you have picked,
Nigeria.
like, I don't know, Ralph Jimenez?
I am the official champion of Guess Who.
Oh, that's such an asterisk, bro.
Nope.
Now you earned that.
I
You
had
earned
more
that win,
points.
but I'm the first.
I had more
Oh,
points
wow.
than you.
Dead team.
I'm gonna start putting in.
Alright, whatever.
Can't put guys I've never heard of on the list.
You clearly don't
Well,
play FM.
That's not fair.
FAA, man. I do not play FM. Did not.
Yeah,
so
but I
that
never really
name
played
is
either.
never
I just
even-
do a lot of saves with bad players in career modes, so I know all the men. But yeah, Bassey's crazy. That one is a crazy shot. Aina kind of
Dude,
made sense.
I just found out recently that Calvin Bassey's brother is a rapper.
Oh,
No,
what?
yeah, I saw that too. No,
Well,
So he's
no,
fresh
he-
in my mind.
it's an interesting little career.
Okay, I can't even say
played
anything. I
Champions
wasn't
League,
even close
tough
to
off
winning,
the
so.
Yeah, but you brought the boom, didn't you, Dylan?
Boom! 3
Oh
booms for
god.
me.
Okay.
Good to have you back.
happy to be back.
Yeah.
This has been Clash of Clubs. This was episode 9. We will see you guys in the next one.
Words for him. Different gravy. Glorious goal. Wreathed in red. We're really seeing the most extraordinary finish here. On this day of days, has he delivered? Just magnificent. Potentially life-changing. That's football. Minute you let it under your skin, then you begin to make it better.